All right, here we are. This is our first. This is our sample dry run podcast of Your Mother Where's My Nuts.
And she's a whore.
Yep. So for political purposes, and we're gonna leave out and she's a whore, but as we get going,
But it's a she, so of course she's a whore.
correct. So you can see we got the records in the background, pretty solid.
Yeah, one's missing. I think, somebody came in the middle of the night and took a record. I think I know who it was. That fucking neighbor with the fat guy.
Why do you always gotta blame the fat guy? You always blame a fat guy.
Who knows, man? It's always a fat guy.
Jesus. But yeah, so this is this is exciting, guys. We man, it took us some time. Actually, that's an understatement. How long did this take to?
Man, we've been talking about this, since Trump was elected? So, years.
Wow.
Because, we got a lot to say, and we're going to give it a shot.
Yeah, we got. Went to Best Buy, got the whole setup: the microphone, the camera,
Blowjob.
IT Todd got the setup going. So, anyway, it's looking forward to this. This is the first of many podcasts.
Absolutely, man.
So
what do you want to talk about today?
Well, let's just say this. I mean, remember when I came in today, the first thing you said is, what's going on with the Senate? What's going on with the impeachment?
Yeah, I mean, shit. So Trump was just in Wildwood, so that was a big thing. We got tickets for that. We were going to go, but then we saw how fucking crazy it was going to be. People can't get in, which obviously is a good problem to have. But clearly it shows that, as much as they want to say that the guy's a scumbag and people won't go to his rallies, like the fact that you have a ticket and you can't even get in the fucking rally in Wildwood of all places. Come on, man. Like, it's Wildwood. Like, it's a fucking shore town in the fucking heart of the winter. There's nobody's there. And the guy, still draws a huge crowd because it's people like you and I that would love to have been there. But, we got to work and shit. And it's just, we're supporting him from here. But, but as far as the impeachment and that shit, I mean, again, it's the same shit, right? So they did the thing in the House, that fucking failed. Same regurgitated bullshit again and again and again. And obviously Shift controlled the fucking narrative, lied, told his own fairy tale of what was in the transcript. And we all came to see that basically just was a bunch of bullshit. And here we are in the Senate. They're basically repeating the same arguments, which more or less have already been kind of discredited as far as should somebody be removed from office for going after corruption in the Ukraine. I mean, that's the bottom line. The President of the United States has the most power in this country, as he should. He's the most powerful man in the country. That's the position. If you read what the President of the United States roles and responsibility is, he's given the ultimate authority for the most part. Yeah, there's checks and balances, of course, but like, if I'm the president and I want to go after somebody, I don't give a fuck who it is, and I want to assert some fucking, put some fucking weight on it, I will. And the fact that like that, it's just stupid that bullshit is why they're trying to impeach him, because he's trying to expose people. And as you know, their excuse is it's all for political gain, so he gets reelected. But again, I haven't seen him prove that at all, like not even close. So,
yeah, so hold that thought. Let's come back to that. I want to come back to the Wildwood thing you brought up. So, I actually didn't tell you this.
Whoa. If you went there, you motherfucker.
No, I did not go there. If I went there, I'd be definitely on the boardwalk playing games.
Here we go.
Playing the Batman game.
Fucking private motherfucker.
No, I did not ride the tram car. Okay, as much as I want to watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please.
Yeah, we used to hop on that fucking shit, and they'd shut the whole thing down, and we fucking flew.
Dude, the tram car was legendary of Wildwood.
It was, man.
Legendary.
It's the greatest thing ever.
Anyone that, if you've been in Wildwood in the 80s? Right, is when we were there.
We were there in the 80s, yeah.
The haunted. Hold on.
Best decade in the world. We'll talk about that another time. But
we will. But the haunted house in Wildwood in the 80s and 90s. Anything in the country could have compared?
No, man. How many fucking times did we do it in a night?
Dude,
we went through that haunted house, like 20 times that night?
But here's the difference. It was legit. It was haunted. It's not today like, oh, you walk in, there's a ghost here. No, there was like people looking to get you, There was the boats below it. Remember the boats?
Oh yeah. Wait. The boats was like a
The
different
haunted
attraction.
boats. It was a
though.
different attraction.
Yeah. That was cool, man. It was
Dude,
all like the water was glowing and shit back in the 80s. But like, remember, like you walked into that haunted house and like there was like the tour guide.
Tour guide.
And he's like, yeah, blah blah blah.
And then the walls.
Yeah, he's like, look at this picture, blah blah blah, and then pow, fucking motherfucker jumps out of the picture,
Dude.
and you pretty much shit yourself. And then it made your heads flying off with blood.
Man. Oh, that's right. The
Fucking guillotine.
decapitated.
Pow, yeah. And then the head rolls out.
Dude. You know what, though? Like you said, we did it so many times. Every time you were excited to go in. Like you were scared every
Dude,
time.
We couldn't wait, man. Oh, yeah. And we kind of knew what we were up against, but like it was still scary as fuck because, again, back then, man, people were legit. Nobody was fucking offended because,
Right.
a vampire
Somebody
touched
scared
his
me.
shoulder. Yeah, like, get the fuck out of here.
Me
man.
too. Somebody got touched when they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens in a haunted house.
Somebody tried to suck more than the blood. Somebody tried to suck more than the blood.
Exactly. But anyway, no. So Wildwood. So how about this? This is interesting. I want to say this. So the Trump rally. Obviously, you have people from New Jersey. One of the GYNs in Voorhees, OBGYN, established doctor. She was at the rally. She was front and center. I watched the rally.
Oh, she got in.
She not only got in, she was right behind Trump.
Holy fuck! How'd she do that?
I have no clue.
Did she like get there like a day early?
So let me backtrack. So I don't know when she got there. All I know is
This is great.
her office is in Voorhees. Been a OBGYN for years. One of Aaron's friends is a patient. And she said maybe like 2 months ago, she goes, hey, I was in the office and they had Fox News on TV. She went up, because she's a liberal, she went up to the desk and said, hey, can you, this is offending me.
I'm fucking believing.
By the way,
man.
this is offending me. An actual station on the news.
So the news is offending her.
The news was offending her. She went up to the desk and said, can you please change this? This is offensive channel.
How about we put CNN on? Would she like that?
Well, the response was, she goes, just a minute. She went back to the doctor, came back and said, sorry, this is the channel that we have in our waiting room. So,
That's fucking sweet.
Now
man.
hold that
I love
thought.
it. Yeah, I'm holding it.
she's still a patient of this doctor. This same doctor, in the background at the Trump Wildwood rally, I saw her on TV. Pink shirt. It said Docs for Trump.
Sweet.
She was excited. She had a sign. She said, make America great. Like, you could just see her energy. But she was on TV, obviously, because she was right behind her.
Yeah. We've seen that. Yeah.
The
That-
next
that's the
day,
spot, yeah.
which was yesterday,
Yeah.
major Facebook, social media. This doctor should be abolished. She's a racist.
Wait. Who did that?
This girl, this woman. First off, the first thing she did, she called the office and
Is this the same woman that said about the
Same woman.
So this woman was a patient
this woman was a patient.
and now wants to ruin her.
Not only ruin her. So the first thing she did is she called and she says, "I just want you to know I'm no longer a patient of this practice."
Fuck you. Good.
So she's,
good.
So she's going to switch practices.
Yeah.
And she started this whole blog, and everyone's going on there blasting the woman that she's a racist. She should be out of business. Like, apparently they're doing a petition because she was at the Trump rally,
Okay.
minding her business, having a good time, enjoying the president.
So what's the crime? What's the fucking crime?
Well,
What's the offense?
right.
What's the complaint?
What's the complaint? Never mind the crime. What's the issue?
What is the issue? You're not allowed to support the president of the United States
Right.
that was elected by the people
Right.
fairly?
Right. You're not allowed to be. You're a doctor. You're a racist. My biggest thing is this: how are you a racist if you're at the Trump rally? I want to know something. How is
You're
she
not.
a racist?
Which clearly she's not. And how are you? Like, there's people of all nationalities at the Trump rallies. There's blacks that support Trump. There's Asians that support Trump. There's Hispanics that support Trump. There's whites that support Trump. Like, it's not. You can't play the race card just because you use the word Trump. Like, we know this.
Yeah, I just, like I said, when Aaron told me that she's a racist and now that she should be out of business because she's a racist because she was at the Trump rally, that's the one thing I never understood. People could call Trump an asshole. People could call Trump, right, this and that. And you could say, okay, you can make that argument. But when you say he's a racist, that's a very bold thing to say. And you better back that up with evidence. What right?
Well, they never had any evidence on that one. And if whenever they try to defend that point, I mean, whether they're trying to go back 30 years to find something he said that wasn't, right down the middle,
But I don't think there's ever been anything he said that was
Right.
shown as racist.
Right, but like when they don't find that, then they just use the fact that he says, all Mexicans are racist, and those buzz lines that they hold on to. But at the end of the day, that's fucking crazy, man.
Dude, can you believe that?
So
This is going on right now.
No shit.
It's if you were to find whatever site she's on, there's petitions, there's pictures of her. They magnified the picture of her holding the sign, Docs for Trump, right behind him.
So here's my question to you. Okay, so this woman, minding her own fucking business, using her God-given right as a woman, as a doctor, as a person
To
in this
enjoy her
country,
free time.
can do whatever the fuck she wants. That's the country we live in. We live in the United States of America.
Yep.
The freedom and the liberties to go do exactly what she did, to go to a rally that was in support of her president.
Correct.
Okay, so again,
The president.
Yeah, right.
Not her, the
Right.
president.
Well, yeah, our president of the United States. My point is, so far, that's great. That's a good thing. I mean, I don't see any. First of all, that's fine. There's no foul there. So then she goes, she has a good time, whatever, and she comes back, and to her chagrin, now she's basically on trial for her job.
So yes, and here's a couple thoughts I have. Just like you said, she has a right, God-given right to be there. I'm not going to disrespect the patients. If they also have a right to say, I'm no longer going to your practice.
Absolutely.
They also have a right to have their opinion on whatever it is. But, so I'm not discrediting it. They have a right to say we're canceling. The question I have is, what are you doing?
Well,
For what?
Well, they don't have a right to.
Because because your doctor who you've trusted for years as your OBGYN, as your doctor, because she has a different political opinion than you're no longer going to go to that practice. Can you explain that?
No, no normal fucking human being can explain this.
And it's worse than that. What is it called when you're going online and trying to get people to petition?
Well,
slander?
See, to me, that's a crime. To me, there's the crime. You
Right.
want to talk about where's the complaint, where's the crime, where's the wrongdoing? In what this woman did to this doctor, and now that's defamation of character.
Defamation of character.
She's trying to destroy this woman.
Yep.
For nothing.
Right.
For absolutely nothing.
Because her opinion's different than the doctor's. Her belief is... So, why not...
Welcome to the world.
Right.
Where we all have different opinions.
So, if she disagrees, and because for whatever reason the political opinion of this doctor is different than hers, that makes her say, "I'm going to cancel my being a patient with your practice."
Well, that's fine.
Great.
I'm cool with
Keep
that.
it, but okay. But don't go on social media and
Don't ever
discredit her
Absolutely
or make her
not.
right.
Absolutely not. See, that's where you have to question those motives. Okay, so you have this person who thinks she's right, the patient who to me is a fucking kook. Right. So let's call it what it is. She's a Looney Tune.
By the way, she's actually going up and telling the practice, who that's their business, that's their TV, to change the channel.
These fucking people, man. Like, listen, the bottom line, she's a Fruit Loop, clearly.
Yep.
And like Matt said, if she's that offended that somebody has a different opinion than her, so she wants to get away from that person who has a different opinion of the world,
That's her right.
fine.
Do what you want.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Right.
But to then take it a step further and, to me, commit the crime of trying to ruin somebody's career, their livelihood, like the way they put food on the table, and potentially could.
I agree.
Like, now that woman might have, not only like, maybe she keeps her job, maybe the hospital looks into it and she gets suspended or on leave because they have to investigate it and all this shit. Like,
God, you kidding me?
but the bottom line, it's just the turmoil that she has to like face now and deal with this shit. Because why? Again, back to why. There is no why.
Well, again, and to the thing that irks me, we both agree, it sounds like. She wants to change practices because of whatever cuckoo, loon, bin, quack that she wants to do. Her
Goodbye.
opinion.
Goodbye. Don't let
Goodbye.
the door hit you in the ass.
Now, but what she did to take it way above that and to say this woman on social media is a racist. No, that's actually not funny.
Did you see this?
Aaron showed me this.
You saw this?
I saw Aaron. Yes, I saw the social media
It's on
thing.
Facebook or like just a website?
I'm pretty sure it was Facebook and Instagram, whatever else. It's definitely Facebook.
And it's the same patient that actually worded it and said, this woman's a racist.
Yes, and she's sharing
Jesus
that
Christ,
and,
man.
and getting a lot of other people. And apparently she said multiple people are quitting the practice. But again,
Based on what?
Again, you're right. I disagree. If they're loons, if they want to quit the practice because of that, I'm sure the freaking OBGYN doesn't want them anyway. If they're going to quit their practice because of a belief that someone has, so be it. But to now say she's a racist and to call her names that you're lying and you're making things up, that's a big problem.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, so again, like you said, like Trump or not like Trump, it's not about Trump. You know, even if Trump fucks up and does something stupid, that is like pales in comparison to what these fucking people are doing. What this patient did. There's no justification under the sun. There's nothing that I could sit here and say that this woman isn't an asshole
right,
and an evil fucking human.
I agree.
And like, so, but then you want to talk about Trump? I don't give a fuck about it. Like, the conversation about Trump is now irrelevant. Like, even if you wanted to make a case that Trump did something and you don't like him and he's this, that, and the other thing, what you just did is light years greater than anything you could ever tie to Trump being something. Like, and how do you not see that? How do we not see that that's the true crime? That the true crime and the true offense is what these people respond with and then go after people and try to destroy them.
But think about what we're talking about. Doesn't that show the power of the mainstream media to make that woman feel like she's doing the right thing, she's not doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
and she's standing up for women, America, minorities, where she feels like she's right and she's doing nothing wrong?
I'm sure she does.
But the question is,
Sure she does.
but don't you agree? Where does she feel like she has the power and ability to do that? It's because if you watch mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, aren't they spewing this all the time, that the things he is?
Oh, absolutely,
And
absolutely.
when you agree, those same mainstream media make it feel like everyone in America agrees with what the mainstream media is saying. So she feels comfortable and says, oh, I'm sure everyone is going to agree with my post because this is what the mainstream media, I watch CNN, everyone probably watches this. Everyone agrees with me.
No,
Agreed?
You hit the nail on the head. The problem is, this is all accurate. What you're saying is entirely accurate and correct. And you're right. However, when did we get that fucking stupid? When did we lose all intelligence and all like open-mindedness to actually hear the bullshit? Because like, life isn't about being fed the truth every day. Like, we know that. Even before the media and before Trump and before all this shit went down, truth was like somewhere, you know, you had this side of the story and you had this side of the story. And then somewhere in the middle was the truth, right? That's existed since there's been people on this earth, right?
Yeah.
Opinions, fact versus fiction. Like, this is nothing new, but yes, the media has blown it out of proportion to basically just feed you non-factual information and then make you kind of feel like you gotta be that patient and you gotta do their dirty work and you gotta basically represent everything that's bad in this world according to them. Yeah, but again, when did we get so brainwashed? When did we stop thinking for ourselves? When did we hear something, even if we don't like Trump, and we love to watch CNN because they're the ones that kind of dirty the waters and maybe it's more exciting. But like, my point is, even if you're that guy or you're that girl and you hate Fox News and you hate Republicans and you hate everything to do with the right side. My point is, when did you get that brainwashed and lose all sensibility of hearing the information and then going to find out if it's actually true versus acting on it? Like that, something happened where nobody even fact checks anything. It's just, well, I heard this, so it's got to be true.
Well, you bring up a good point. Here's what I would respond and maybe guess, you know, and I hope our viewers are going to have some insight on this, is that maybe it's exposure is the answer of when did this brainwash it. Maybe it's exposure to the fact that, and by the way, let's be clear when we're saying we, and I think it's very important. Liberals, Democrats have all the right to believe in being a liberal and a Democrat. We don't have no one has a problem with that. No one should have a problem with being a conservative. It's a right to choose.
Absolutely.
With that said, I think it's serious and interesting and almost, I want to use the word stupid, to think that they because that person or that group watches CNN, that everyone watches CNN. When the reality and the statistics show CNN's declining, Fox News is way more watched than CNN. So let's stop there. If you were to ask that woman, if you were to ask a liberal, what is more watched media, Fox News or CNN? Tell me right now what you think they'd say.
For the liberal media?
Yeah. No, the liberal people. The woman who did this, if she said, hey, in America, if we were going around with a microphone, there's people that do this. Hey, just curious, what do you think's watched more in America, CNN or Fox News?
That's an easy one.
What are they going to say?
CNN.
Why do you say it so easily?
Because that's what they heard, so they believe it. It's back to the same point you brought up, and then I, replied to. It's that CNN tells them so it's true.
So you're saying those people and the woman who,
just like the polls about everything on the left side is always winning against the right, in the CNN polls, on the liberal polls, they're always doing better, even though, as we saw, the outcome doesn't prove their claims.
So wait a minute, you just said something that we're going to talk more about this in many episodes.
Yep.
And by the way, viewers, I'm going to tell you something right now. You're going to hear a story speaking about what a Trump supporter, by the way, the guy to my left, the impact of that while dating. That's going to be a very, very future episode.
Yeah, we got a lot of content, so stay tuned. And even you can see in the background, I think, the Michael Jackson record. So there's a story, of course, about Michael Jackson because we know the controversy regarding MJ.
But even better, I'm talking about the Uber ride.
Oh yeah, but that's the thing.
That's coming.
So there's a lot. So there's always political undertones, and we're not going to try to always have political undertone conversations because
no, absolutely
want to change it up.
Absolutely
and talk about music and movies and just like growing up and.
We're gonna have a variety like you've never seen before. Now I sound like Trump.
Yeah,
but it's gonna be something you've never seen before.
It's huge.
It's huge. But I'm gonna come back to
it's
something.
Huge.
Yeah, he's still looking.
That's what she said.
Yeah, he's still looking.
Yeah.
No, but think about something. I wanna leave off with something. You answered that to the fact you're like it's obvious that they're gonna say CNN when I said what's watched more.
I did.
What does that mean to you? What's the impact on that when the statistics and the facts are absolutely show the complete opposite?
Yeah, but whose statistics and whose facts? Where do they come from?
They come from, you go to like networks of what is the most watched news network. You can Google it. We will. And we'll come back to the next episode. We'll show it. But it's a fact. Fox News is watched way more than CNN News. CNN ratings are declining. Pending that's true, which we know it is. What does that say that you? But you just said it's obvious that they would say, "Oh, CNN." Fox News is you. So you would say they'd say, "Oh, just odd right conservatives that aren't many watch Fox News." Is that what you're thinking?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's back to the point of I call it a brainwashing, like and we're gonna get into more, but like.
But when does the liberal and when does that woman that we're referencing in the Wildwood stop to say, should I be looking at my own resources, my own facts to see if this is right? Or do I just watch CNN and only CNN and just get brainwashed?
Yeah, I don't think it ever stops. And this goes back to my point I told you the other day where, see, I put myself in the weeds, right, when it comes to, let's say, social media. So there's always going to be a political post, whether it's left side or right side. It's never central.
Yep.
There's no centrist fucking standpoints in this world. Let's call
right.
it what it is. So there's always going to be a post, whether it's pro-left or pro-right. And I love to see them because it creates controversy. And I don't have a problem with controversy. I like you and I talk, like controversy is actually good because it gets people talking.
I agree.
And getting people talking is actually a good thing always. But you got to have open-minded, intelligent, sensible people to have these conversations with. And
respect.
Yes, and that's getting very few and far between, especially in our, in our circle of friends. Like a lot of us are, conservative Republicans, but we also have a lot of friends, whether they're direct friends or friends of friends or family members of friends, like that are, a lot of them are very liberal. And, you can imagine the fucking arguments that go on in that. Like, people have to stop talking, basically, as we know. Like, don't talk about that. Or if you say that, it's going to be, it's going to be a fist fight in the kitchen. Well, we all know how this works. Like, nobody should be surprised by this, and I don't think anybody sitting here today watching this can say they haven't experienced this. I don't believe that. So, but yeah, man, like my point is, real quick, is I see the posts, I see the comments, and my point is this. I've seen a lot of comments about how I used to be a Democrat. 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 And I can't do it anymore. Watching the impeachment, watching Schiff lie, whatever the case may be, watching the news, the media, I could never consider myself not being a Democrat, and I can't do it anymore. They're evil. They're scum. And I'm sorry, but I'm moving over to Republican. I see that in so many words like that so many times now, and I've never seen the reverse. I've seen same controversy, same subject matter of let's start fighting each other regardless of what the context is. I've never seen a Republican or a conservative say, I'm done with the Republican Party, I'm going Democrat. So that tells you something, because again, all the context is open. Like it's a left-right controversy.
Which, by the way, that's a fact that if you said that to a liberal, they'll say, yeah, no one's going to switch parties.
Well, right, of course.
But that's a fact. Let's remember that.
That's a fact, because I who would say I used to be a Democrat and I can't take it anymore? Like, what I'm witnessing is just evil people that are just scumbags. I mean, those are not my words. And I'm no longer going to be able to be a Democrat.
Well,
or a liberal, or whatever the fuck you want to consider it.
You know what? You're right. And if someone were to say, well, what's the bottom line theme, or what are we trying? What's the message that we're trying to share, or just ask a question today? If you're asking me about our conversation and what we're talking about, for me, it's this: when and where did it start where liberals feel that their opinion on politics and the president is the way majority, that everyone, or 95% or 80% believe that's what they share, those same opinions? When and where do they feel that the majority of Americans believe what they believe? Well, that's the first thing I want to say.
All right. Let me answer that real quick.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they believe it's that they are the majority. I think, they think they're superior in their beliefs. So there's a superiority versus a majority. And anybody who doesn't believe that is less superior, is wrong and misguided and not as good as they are.
So I'm going to agree on that. I'm going to absolutely agree. And viewers, love to hear your thoughts on this, but absolutely agree on the fact that they feel that anyone who disagrees with them is inferior.
100%. I know that for a fact, yes.
Where I'm going to disagree is where, when I asked you the question of if you were to poll a liberal on the street and saying, hey, which is more watched, CNN or Fox News, you said they would have said CNN by far, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
Which then, wouldn't you agree, they feel they're the majority? They feel that...
I don't know.
They feel that most people agree with what they're saying. Hence, they're watching CNN.
No. I see what you're saying, and I see why you believe that or you think that, but I think it's because here's the twist. I think they don't associate with anybody that doesn't believe what they believe. They can't. Liberals, and we'll get to our point of like what I've experienced. They will stop even being friends with people that disagree with them.
Again, you're spot on, but I want to come back to the fact of...
Well, you keep going with the majority. Like, do they think they're the majority? I don't know that they think that way.
If you watch CNN,
right,
are you a liberal or a conservative?
Well, if you watch it religiously, then I would say you're a liberal.
And you said that if you poll a liberal on the street, they're going to say by far more people watch CNN than Fox News.
Yes, because they want to believe that.
So they
want to believe that.
So don't you think they want to believe that by far the majority of people in America are liberals that watch CNN?
They want to believe that too. I'm just saying I don't know that they sit there and think, well, this is how I feel, and most people feel this way. I don't think they can truly believe that. You can't truly believe that. How can you sit there and say, well, we are the majority, and we believe that most people do think the way I do?
Well, I think it's
they can't say that and be like and know for a fact that's true, that they're the majority.
Well, first off, you just use the word fact when talking liberal. So facts and liberals are two different.
Well, there's a
things.
hypocrisy.
There's no facts.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but facts and liberals, we already proved that, right?
No, what you're saying.
Brainwashing.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I'm saying this. Agree with this. They do feel superior, but
100%.
But if what I'm saying is, if they didn't feel like they were the majority belief in this country, would they be seen open and disrespectful on social media and say what they want and call this woman a racist who's the doctor and go on social media and blast her, say everyone should no longer be a patient of your practice? Would they be able to do that if they knew the statistics that, hey, by the way, honey bun, the majority, or at least half America, does not watch CNN and does not believe with your belief?
Here's what I would say.
Does that make sense, though?
Everything you made sense, but I want to know the answer to this, right? Don't you want to know the real answer to this?
To what?
To your question of do they believe they are the majority, regardless of what the subject matter is?
I think they do for sure.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to get the answer. So we know plenty of liberal friends that are hardcore liberals, hate Republicans, hate
Absolutely.
Trump, whatever. And we all know plenty of those. Back to your majority point.
It's a great question, by the way.
Let's pose that question.
I love that.
So everything we said, I think, today has been very, open-minded and factual as far as we believe the facts to be. And again,
and again
some of it's beliefs.
Well, it's mostly questions that we have.
Right, questions, right. But the point is, let's ask that. So because I want your question answered.
It's a great point. I love this.
Because obviously
I'm
I'm hesitant to say they believe they're the majority.
And I would love to see if I'm wrong or right.
Yeah. So let's ask that question. Let's find out.
And what's the question going to be?
And I want to ask it to the Trump haters, the people that hate Trump and the people that say he's a racist.
You want to ask it to liberals?
Those people.
And what is the question?
I want to say, do you believe you're the majority in this country? The way you hate Trump, the way you believe that
he's a racist.
Yeah, he's a racist, and whatever, all that stuff. Do
you believe you're
the majority of people that believe that?
I think that's an amazing question.
Do you truly believe you're the majority, or
do you think you're the minority?
Do you just wish you're the majority? Do you hope you're the majority? Do you want to be the majority that believes?
Great questions, by the way.
But it's more of you believe you're superior because of your values.
I don't think they're going to
values.
You're right. I don't think we're going to get. Here's the thing. The answer to do you believe you're superior, that's going to be hard because no one's going to be honest about that.
No. Let's be honest. Be honest.
Where they will be honest is, which is, I think, the bigger question that you just did a great job, and I think I can't wait for this for the viewers and when we get online and people are going to call in. Do you think your political beliefs on the president and liberal and democratic values are the majority of this country? Fair?
Yeah, and you know what? Let's take it. One thing I want to add is because you got to be very with this stuff to get that answer. You almost have to give a real example, for them to answer it. So, I think your thing with this nurse and this patient going after her and try to ruin her life. Let's use that as the question. So this is what happened. This is what this lady did.
And by the way, I think stay tuned. I wonder if I could try to get her to call in.
Yeah.
Because she obviously has to be aware, correct, that she's being slaughtered and her character's being under attack.
She probably found out right away. I mean, you know how social media.
So stay tuned on that.
But my point is, let's use that as an example. That's a real living, breathing example of what just happened yesterday. So let's use that. Say, okay, here's what happened. Do you believe she's right? Because again, back to the majority. Do the majority of people believe that that's okay? She went after her. She called her a racist because she went to a Trump rally, and now she's getting. She wants everybody. She wants the majority to go after her and ruin her. So, do you believe that that lady is right in what she did as a majority, or do you disagree?
Now that's another great question you proposed. So there's two good questions, great questions.
Yep.
First is let's confirm it, and then we'll sign off. Fair?
Yeah.
First is we want to pose, and we're going to ask, right? The liberal people. Do you believe your political beliefs and your stance of the president and what's going on and the hatred of the president is the majority of the country? Fair? Is that the question?
Yeah.
And what's the second question? About the woman of the doctor.
So the second question is, we'll give you the whole story again of what the lady did to try to ruin somebody's life because she attended a Trump rally. Do you believe that was okay?
And do you believe that was right?
Right. So do you sit in the majority of where this...
Two great questions.
So, because that woman who did that wants the majority of people to agree with her. So she wants to be in the majority of people that say she's a racist and she should be fired. My opinion.
Two great questions.
And do you sit in that... Do you sit in the yes, that's okay because she supports Trump? Or do you sit in the no, that's horrible and shouldn't have happened? But again, and finally, I want to understand this. Is it a superiority complex, a majority complex, or kind of like a mix of the both?
Yeah.
Or is there a vast line separating those two and they are different?
Well,
right?
I think the two questions we pose will help us come to that answer.
Right. These are good things. Like, this is good.
Yep. So, yeah. Guys, hopefully, hopefully you enjoyed this. This was literally our first one. By the way, what did we say we were going to do, 5 minutes?
Yeah, and we're 35 minutes. So we went over by like 30.
So, first one, I think we're keeping this one. I think this is a great one to get out.
This flowed pretty well, guys. And I hope whoever watches this enjoys it.
But we have to commit to we're going to commit to the viewers. We're going to follow up on those two questions.
Oh, yeah.
And... we're going to have what are we going to have? We're going to have a YouTube. We're going to have a chat. How is this going to work where the viewers can start responding to those questions?
Yeah, whoever's watching this now, hopefully you are watching it on YouTube. And, the great thing about YouTube is the fact that there is a comment section. And like I said, we know there's keyboard warriors who will say whatever the fuck they want because they're anonymous. Like, Joe Blow says, you're an asshole,
sure.
Todd and Matt. Like, that's fine. But, like, a lot of times in the comments is where you get that conversation, good and bad, left and right, whatever. So yeah, hopefully that's no. Holy shit, man!
Yeah, you can really see his bald head.
Yeah, now yeah, there's a fucking shine here, but yeah.
Oh, much better.
Yeah, that is.
Sorry, guys. This is what happens when you think 5 minutes is enough time. The sun was out.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 days later.
I like railing in the dark because nobody can see the smallness, but
Yeah.
So now we got
different.
light. So now it's 2 inches. Everybody knows.
Yeah. So anyway,
nobody's gonna want to date me. But
well, I think you guys can see that we have a lot of potential. Hopefully, you'll agree with how we talk and how we say that. There's gonna be many topics.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, we can't wait.
But appreciate everyone for watching this. Todd, hopefully you were clear about YouTube and where people can go in and comment. That's going to be important.
And dude, shit, I didn't even hit record, man.
I hope you're kidding.
No.
Dude, I hope you're kidding.
Fuck, man. I'm kidding.
Woo!
This guy was I was about to get jawed.
Woo! Man, that would have been a waste.
I was about to be in a midnight ride. He'll tell you all about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
He did it on the wrestling mat and in the bedroom.
Yeah. Yep. It's been a while for the bedroom, but
hey, married life. We'll definitely talk about that. How wonderful getting married is today.
All right, guys. Well, again, your mother wears my nuts. That's gonna be our station. That's our motto here, and
she's a whore. Soon. And she's a whore.
Correct.
Peace out.